Day number 3, and the fun continues on Capitol Hill.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
At the production time, Kevin McCarthy has gone down now for a 7th time, unable to secure the speakership. But of course, Sean Hannity, a guy who claims that he is against the swamp, against the status quo in Washington, but he's for the status quo of his paycheck. He gets a good payout from Faux News, formerly known as Fox News, and, Fox News has made it official. They want nothing to do with Donald Trump. They don't want to see a repeat of Donald Trump. They don't want Trump-type Republicans, MAGA Republicans, presented in any type of decent light. So Sean Hannity, the house painter, the guy who is an absolute, talking buffoon. Did I just say that? Yes. Talking buffoon, Sean Hannity, 5-line Hannity. He has 5 thoughts. They're never original. They're written in crayon for him so he doesn't forget them. And he just comes out every night, and whatever the 5 thoughts are for that night, he just regurgitates them over and over and over. First of all, he's not terribly bright. He's certainly not an intellectual on any level whatsoever. And he has a hard time grasping even simple concepts like, math. So here he is in an exchange. You don't have the votes to stop Kevin McCarthy, so you get out of the way. Wait, what?
Kevin McCarthy has 203 votes. Your side has 20. So if I'm going to use your words and your methodology and your math, isn't it time for you to pack it in and your side to pack it in, considering he has over 200 and you have 20?
Sean, I understand the frustration. I promise you, but
I'm not frustrated.
He does
you didn't
not
answer
have the
my
votes,
question.
and we are hearing from many people who are still voting with Kevin McCarthy, who are very supportive of what we're doing, and they're cheering us on. So there are more for us than are against us, and they are waiting for Kevin to cave.
Okay.
The American people are certainly frustrated by.
I'm frustrated by you not answering a direct question. You said to President Trump, you said earlier today that President Trump needs to tell Kevin McCarthy, you don't have the votes.
We need to come up with a consensus candidate to elect a Speaker of the House.
You don't have the votes, and it's time to withdraw. He has 203. Your side has 20. Why is it time for him to withdraw and not you when he has so many more votes?
Okay, Sean, I'm going to break this down and make it really, really simple. Kevin has to have 218 votes. He can only get about 201, 202, once in a while 203. He hasn't got the 218. So you want to see this as these majority upstarts. Isn't that our system? That's the way it's actually supposed to work. It doesn't always work that way because we have coronations and selections, not elections. But this actually is the way our founding fathers wanted it to work. We were a little upstart when we declared our independence from England. They certainly had more money, more soldiers, more ships, more of a navy, more everything. They were the majority. How come we just didn't simply acquiesce and say, we have to stay subject to England because there's more of them than us? Yeah, you're a real patriot, Sean. Quit your phony baloney bullhawk act. Go back to California, wherever it is that you came from, that you were supposedly doing rock radio. I would love to hear one of your air checks because I got a feeling you sucked. Yes, and I said it that way. I got a feeling you were awful. You got your shtick where you're paid to kind of talk like you're a conservative, but in reality, you're no different than a Don Lemon over at CNN. You are an unemployable hack actor who you read a teleprompter. That's really what you're about, Hannity. And you and Mark Levin and the rest of those frauds at Faux Pas News, there's really only one guy over there worth listening to at all, and that's Tucker Carlson. You guys are controlled opposition. That's all you've ever been. It's all you'll ever be. You're standing guard for the status quo. You are standing guard for the uniparty system, period, over and out. Enough. I've wasted enough breath on you. She tried to explain it to you very simply. Listen, he doesn't have 218, and until he gets there, he's not going to be speaker, period. So what the people, the party bosses, need to decide is, okay, if not him, then who? I say throw Donald Trump's name into the mix. That ought to create an explosion. Oh, wait, Matt Gaetz did today. He did. He nominated Donald Trump, and technically you can, because you don't have to be a member of Congress to be Speaker of the House. Bum, ba-dum, bum. You almost wonder if maybe that's really the way the framers of the Constitution wanted it, that the Speaker of the House was supposed to not be a member of the club, but actually somebody from outside to kind of come in and supervise and oversee. Now, there are some MAGA Republicans who are upset with their Freedom Caucus. How dare they stand in the way of the coronation of Kevin McCarthy? And one of them happens to be Representative Green.
There's many more. Bob Good, $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Lauren Boebert, under $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Many more people have taken Kevin McCarthy's money to get elected, and then there's a few of them that don't want to support him as Speaker.
Oh, what an admission. Hey, aren't you for sale? We gave you money to get elected. Now you have to do exactly what we say. Did she not just completely tip her hand and explain and lay out and what she thought was a definitive defense of Kevin McCarthy? Maybe it was actually a Freudian slip. She just told us what we always knew, that everything there is so corrupt it's for sale. And as long as somebody gives you money, that's why you ought to give them loyalty. Well, Kevin McCarthy, as the minority leader, when Nancy Pelosi had the majority and she was Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy was the highest ranking Republican, so he oversaw the doling out of Republican money to Republican candidates. I got a news flash for you there, Representative Green. That was his job. That's what he's supposed to do. And you keep calling it his money? Not his money. Well, I mean, one only knows what kind of favors he's done to the corporate entities and the lobbyists who've given him that money. But that money was put in the coffers for Republicans in Congress. You make it sound like he's writing checks out of his own personal account, and these 20 people standing against him are knifing him personally in the back. Grow up. Oh, and we already heard that you were upset that some of these people, the concessions they've demanded is that they make certain of themselves committee chairs. Yeah. Because otherwise, you're going to let Kevin McCarthy put all his people in charge of committees, which means they are going to go nowhere. They'll do showboat stuff to appease the MAGA crowd. We'll have a look at Hunter Biden. We'll have a look at Fauci, but it ain't going anywhere. Like Trader Gowdy overseeing the Benghazi thing. And I said back then, Trader Gowdy is just that. He's a traitor, but he just fit right in at Faux Pas News, Fox News. Trader Gowdy talking like Huckleberry Hound. Can't stand Trey Gowdy. Miserable scumbag. Oh, I'm sorry. You find that offensive for me to say that? I'll say it again. He's a miserable scumbag. He's a liar. He's a traitor. He is not a principled individual. He is a corrupt politician, period, hiding behind a law degree, which makes him even more suspect. You know, Bill Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, he had a phrase about what we should do to lawyers. But that's another subject for another day. Yeah, some of them said, I want to chair a committee that could really go after Fauci. I want to chair a committee that will really go after Hunter Biden. That there will really be something that happens. I want to chair a committee that we really do get to the bottom of the FBI's involvement in what happened on January 6th. Bum, and see, Kevin McCarthy is there to protect the status quo, to protect the deep state, to protect the uniparty, because there's not a nickel's worth of difference between Democrats and Republicans. They all take soft money. They all take corporate money. They all are in debt to Wall Street and to the lobbyists. And a couple of these holdouts have said, no. We're gonna really get something done. We're really gonna drain the swamp this time. God bless them. But what Representative Green is so upset about is members of her caucus, when they went in and were jockeying for position for themselves, none of them recommended her for anything. So she's butthurt, and that's why she's out giving press conferences now. I wasn't offered any committeeships. She's hoping by saying that McCarthy will, throw her a bone because, she stood there. Let me give you a history lesson on how that's going to work for you, Ms. Green. Think AOC and the squad. They could have done this same thing to Nancy Pelosi and gotten something, and they didn't. They caved. They went along thinking by going along, Nancy will give us committee chairs, and she didn't. And what few things they were involved in, she cut them off completely from that. Kevin McCarthy isn't going to throw any of you MAGA people anything by sticking with him and voting for him. There's another history lesson here. And I hate to go this route because it's sometimes is seen as cheap and everybody does that. But, there were people who helped a certain tyrant in a place called Germany get to power. And when he got there, he didn't reward them. He got rid of them. And some of you conservatives that are hoping that by being nice to Kevin, that you're going to get committee chairmanships and you're going to get positions of influence, dream on. Because the Never Trump rhinos do not like you. So God bless these 20 holdouts. I hope they keep holding this out. I hope they keep dragging this out. And I hope whatever concessions they do get Kevin to agree to, they're actually able to hold his feet to the fire and make it happen.